Good God Almighty! That's wrestling, baby! That's wrestling, baby! I can't believe it! What the hell is going on? They're gonna tell us about it on Tuesday. Dynamite's on Wednesday. But Impact's on Tuesday. Oh my God, they won't let this company die. They won't let Impact die. Sting is in AEW. Oh my God, they won't let nobody will let Impact rest in peace. We can't get rid of Impact every single time they're about to die. Somebody works with them. I can't believe this. I can't believe it. Unbelievable. Wow. Wow. Sting is in AEW. Kenny Omega's going over to Impact. What the hell is going on? What is this? Unbelievable stuff. I mean, listen. That's how you book a wrestling show, though. I'll tell you that. All kinds of questions, all kinds of chaos. I mean, that's how you do it, man. That's some old school stuff going on here. I really got to tell you, man, that is great. I mean, I get it. You know, we're gonna make fun of the dead company Impact, and you know that. Why won't somebody just let this damn company die already? But you know, it's just a funny storyline, to be honest. And you know, you knew that there was going to be a comeback at some point, you know, or you know, you scratch my back, I scratch yours situation eventually because of, you know, Don Callis even being there from Impact Wrestling. But I mean, that was even more than I thought we were going to get out of this whole deal. But yeah, Sting is in AEW. It was really a great setup and situation. It was a fun debut. I had to go back and watch it the right way because I came in as his head was leaving. But unbelievable. I mean, winter is coming, man. What a theme. What a way to promote a show. You know, you really do it all behind the idea of this championship match and the theme of, you know, the sort of the Game of Thrones theme, and it's free on Dynamite. And I mean, I would think that tonight, that in this show tonight for AEW, that they probably are going to get pretty good ratings. Probably going to get pretty good numbers because of this booking. It's almost surprised that NXT didn't counter it more with something crazy, because they normally do that. This was a bit ambiguous almost. And just a tiny little theme, big title match, big event, and we get this shocking debut by Sting. We all thought maybe Sting will show up for The Undertaker. Maybe Sting will, you know, show up at AEW. What the hell is what's the name of the thing, Jake? Poker place? What the hell?
I forget now.
I don't remember the name of the pay-per-view.
Double or Nothing.
Double
right?
or Nothing. Yeah, there you go. Double or Nothing. We thought Double or Nothing.
I always want to call it the Vegas one.
Yeah, right. I don't know why. I probably have a tumor. So we think, you know, he's going to debut at Double or Nothing. Maybe he'll debut at, you know, the Undertaker's thing. And we really kind of let it go after that. We sort of stopped with what we think.
Yeah,
is
even
gonna
after
happen.
Full Gear, we were like, yeah, you know, that was kind of the last bastion we thought we might see Sting at. And you heard that he would work with Darby Allin. I'm happy he's there, but it's just a full-on nostalgia push. I mean, that's all there is out of this. Because what are they going to do with him? Last time we saw him in a ring, he collapsed with Seth Rollins. So.
Oh, I know what all he's got to do is this. I told someone on Twitter this. I'm like, dude, Sting is here because Sting is going to say that I'll be here to watch over this company type of thing. I'll be here because I've seen what happens to companies, you know, when they don't do things the right way. They may even use the Impact thing. You know?
I think they're going to. I mean, especially with the way the show ended.
Right.
And Don Callis has been telling the story that, if it wasn't, for other aspirations, I would have had Kenny Omega originally. He was going to come to Impact. He's been touting that, even though that's historically inaccurate, as non-true as that can get. But it's funny to hear that disputed. But now, the tides have changed as, no, we wanted Omega desperately, and if it wasn't for other ambitions, we would have had him. And okay, fine. They want to tell this story to keep up with it. We'll play along. It's not a bad one, but I wasn't crazy about the finish. I knew Kenny was going to walk away the champion. I guess I was hoping for just a bit more, especially coming out of their last matchup being so brutal. I don't really know what I was expecting here, but
yeah,
to me,
it was a long, slow, like, let's get to the point, sort of like let's delay as long as we can until the moment. Most of it was improv, take it easy. And then in the last 10 minutes, we're going to start executing all the ideas and all the things. And so that's really what it felt like. The other thing I want to say, I think Sting kind of looked at everybody tonight as like, let's go. Let's go. Like, I'm here. Like, he stared at Darby Allin. He stared at Cody. I took that as I'm here to, like, you're ready to go. Let's do this as a company. Like, but on top of that, because I would love
to see him manage Darby or be involved with him, and that's kind of what we got. It was just it was good. I'm not saying it wasn't.
Yeah, I don't
good.
think he's gonna wrestle. Odd. I don't think he's really gonna wrestle.
I hope not.
I think it's really about him being there to be like, I watched what happened to this company, that company, and the other company. I've been in all the companies, he could say. You know what I mean? And I want to make sure that things don't go. I want to make sure
them teeter off into.
I don't want this company to get taken over by a wolf pack or a gang of this or by the wrong people. And I told your dad, maybe you might say to Cody something like that about his dad. There's all these things that they can do with Sting, as sort of this Godfather character.
Yeah, last night they had team the Gun Club dressing up like FTW and mocking them and being like, oh yeah, we're going to go ahead and tease these guys and kind of keep that feud going. But then they're not the ones to make the save tonight for Cody and Darby. So that was a little odd. They have so many, but I guess maybe that's the idea behind it, is they want to, show how many enemies the FTW is making in the meantime.
Yeah.
I just don't view them as like a top faction. So for Sting coming in to be the, I don't want to say antithesis, but the opposite to them and be the one to topple Team Taz, it seems a bit odd.
Yeah, the Taz booking has been kind of weird. I mean, the only thing that does...
It's not bad. It's just...
You're right.
Not, overwhelming, but still good. Far better than anything we saw on Raw or WWE in a while. I mean, this was fun from start to finish.
That's the thing. This wasn't the greatest thing, but it was very exciting. Like, this was really exciting tonight. The first hour was whatever. The biggest criticism tonight is really, to me, is a lot of it is the commentary was very bad and flat at like delivering a lot of impact moments with no pun intended. Let me go to the donations really quickly. I don't want to get too behind. What do you guys think about tonight? Kenny Omega is the new AEW World Champion, and they're going to explain their actions with Don Callis Tuesday at Impact Wrestling. What, on Twitch? And then, by the way, I was sent an email by AEW. AEW sent me an email. I just read it. The email states that Sting has signed a multi-year contract with AEW, and Sting will be on Dynamite next week to tell everybody why he's come to AEW. So nice little teaser email there from AEW.
Yeah, we heard a few different rumors, but we'll see what
we don't know the numbers 100%, but I've seen all the rumors about him. But that's just officially from AEW and a big
that's official that he definitely has signed a multi-year deal. We've heard 300,000 an appearance and up and.
Jet.
I'm sure he's making a lot of money. That's for sure.
Yeah, probably. Jet, thank you for the sub on Twitch, man. You guys, if you guys have free Twitch Prime, you can go to my Twitch gaming channel, and you guys can sub to me on there for free. So if you have Twitch Prime, don't waste it. You get one free sub. You can sub to me, give me $3, and you get all the Twitch stuff. Do it. It's free right now.
Super chat.
So much just happened. WTF lol 710.
Guy, right on delay peasy. Good Lord. I mean, dude, this show was people were talking about Kenta and all these other things, and
Super chat.
Thank you, on delay peasy.
What if Tony K bought Impact?
Wow, that's a great point. Like Tony Khan shows up on Impact like Vince showed up. I That's a great point. That's funny. He probably could do that.
Yeah, especially with the rumors again that Bezos was thinking about buying WWE, you know?
Right.
If they think that's going to get me to watch Impact, they're fucking high.
Really? Man, one negative person, one Nut Willie with the 616 donation. He says, nah, I'm good. One Nut Willie, thank you. If you guys want to donate tonight, the Streamlabs link is below. Let us know what you thought of AEW tonight. Did you watch NXT? We can, we'll save that for later if we can, but AEW, winter is here. It was here. Kenny Omega, the new AEW World Champion. Sting is in AEW, multi-year contract, cross-promotion going on with Impact Wrestling. Kenny Omega runs away with Don Callis going heel. It wasn't 100% like smooth for me. Like Moxley could have won the match earlier. So that whole plan of theirs to like screw over everybody. I mean, John Moxley could have won the belt earlier.
Yeah, the execution was a bit odd.
It was a little weird. A little shaky, but exciting.
Thank you, Uncle Donnie. Moxley is on maternity leave for good.
That's a great point, Royal Thomas. We really didn't think about that.
That was one of the things I was thinking, but she's so early on in her pregnancy that I don't know if he'd want to take time off yet. He might just take a couple weeks.
No,
and then do a comeback. But
I think this really gives him flexibility and also the ability to, he can now wrestle for a little bit for the next few months if he wants to.
But he doesn't have to hold the company on his back.
Right, but you also don't want him to get COVID while she's pregnant.
Yeah, exactly. So that's a great point too. And he's been a workhorse for the company for, the COVID times, you can certainly say. He's done the best he can to be a proper world champ and put on the best matches and promos. So I give him credit. It's been, difficult. Mm-hmm. And, you don't have the same kind of audience and stuff.
Oh!
This whole city, we're gritty.
Oh!
Yo, we might eat our own shitty. Yeah, eat our own shitty.
Yo, Philadelphia, what's up?
We're gritty as can be. We can survive off our motherfucking own feces. Really, we're gritty in Philly. We're gritty in Soul City, and we'll eat our own shitty in Philly. That's why our mascot looks like a
Sting on TNT first time in 18 years with AU Taker retired and fucking Impact won't die. Wonder how Matt feels about this. Tony Khan must've bought them out. JFC Joe. Don should just be on AU. But greatly booked show though.
Yeah, I mean, listen, it was such a great... This was a... Fade to Black. First of all, Fade to Black, thank you for donating your hard-earned money to the show to keep me on the air and to keep this show alive. I really appreciate it. Fade to Black, baby. Let's fade to black.
Fade to black, baby.
Fade to Black, thank you, man. Yeah, I mean, you could critique the first hour a little bit about how, it wasn't the greatest thing. You could critique a few things. You could definitely critique the main event match quality. Why did Moxley do things? He distracted himself. And then I would have gone without Moxley looking like he could win because that really took away from what Omega did. You see, this is my biggest criticism. Yeah. This is my biggest criticism of the night is that instead of John Moxley going no, I don't want to beat him, I'm going to hurt him bad, I would have had Moxley in the position to be able to hurt him bad. As in the referee gets knocked down and John Moxley goes out of the ring, grabs a barbed wire bat, comes into the ring with the bat, holds it up and looks at him. They bring up the fact that they had this weird agreement earlier or whatever, right? Also, you don't want to do it like this, Moxley. He thinks he attacked him. He thinks that Omega's the one attacked him, and what if he is? And Moxley's holding the bat and looking at him. And then Moxley just looks at the bat and goes, all right, he throws the bat over the ring and he goes back to wrestling. The referee gets up eventually. Then now it's 5 or 10 minutes later, and then that does happen where Omega plays dirty with Don Callis, and then they get out of there. That makes John Moxley look like a baby face, right? But when Moxley says, well, I'm going to maim you, and then you maim me at the end, well, who cares? He was going to maim him anyway. Don Callis and Omega just did anything John Moxley might have done. So that was a huge mistake as far as this, in my opinion, that was a huge mistake in this match. You should have made Moxley obviously upset and angry like he was, but there should have been a moment where he goes, all right, but I'm not going to maim the guy. I'm going to win the belt the right way, but I kind of want to maim the guy. And that would have made Omega, what he did, extra dastardly. But they really took away a little bit from that by having Moxley, I could pin him and win, but now I'm not going to do that. I'm going to go outside the ring and get weapons and stuff. So just a little bit of a weird thing there. But it's still this was so well booked. Tony Khan, where are you, Tony? So I can suck off your tits, because this was, oh my God, talk about get eyes on the product. And then
this
boom,
was huge
Sting.
for them to get new people to watch. And I mean, nostalgia only works for so long. So that's why the Sting surprise, and thankfully it was a surprise. It wasn't spoiled earlier today. People didn't know about it. Dirt sheets weren't reporting on it. Because once the winter is coming part happened, that whole part was really, really cool. The production value of Sting coming out, the snow coming down, it went with the theme. I like his theme music, the way he walked out. Everything Steve did there was top notch, excellent. Like I said, I wouldn't have had the heels.
Watch the shoot names. Watch the shoot names, bro.
I wouldn't have had the heels leave the ring. I wouldn't have had them run out as early on as they did. But I know they wanted to show like the presence of Sting being so intimidating that they had to run. I get that, but just the way they did it, they left so soon. As soon as he took out the bat, I would have had them dump out of the ring, just to make it, because it just looked odd to me. But everything they did tonight, it worked. There were some things maybe I'm like, I'm not sure where you're going, or a little, but nothing was questionable in the sense of like, why in God's name, or it was frustrating. There was no booking decisions that made you want to hit your head against the wall.
Yeah,
thankfully, I like what they did with the Dynamite Battle Royal. They told a lot happened tonight. They told a lot of individual stories in these matches to further feuds, and I can't knock them at all. As much as they were focused on a nostalgia act with Sting, the rest of the evening they did a lot to build up younger talent. So I can't knock them for that either.
Yeah, I saw some people giving the first hour like a 5 out of 10, 6 out of 10.
I wouldn't even have gone that low. I liked the Jericho match. I liked the circumstances that happened there. With the inner circle basically crumbling and falling apart. Now we've got that ultimatum. A lot of the moments that happened in the Diamond Battle Royal were well done and made sense, thankfully. You don't always get that in a Battle Royal, and this one really kind of lined up nicely.
I also think that
we had the women's match I thought was good. I don't really give a damn about Layla Hirsch, but she was decent. So
yeah, she did a good job at putting over Britt Baker the way they're supposed to. And then
nothing was spectacular, but it was continually good and enjoyable.
Thunder Rosa showing up, and here's the other thing: JR was not very good tonight. Unfortunately, the commentary wasn't very good tonight. But despite the fact that the commentary was kind of all over the place, one thing I will definitely say about the commentary was it was nice when Sting showed up. JR kind of bailed and was like, "This is Tony." I don't know if anybody noticed, but it was sure as hell like, JR was like, "Tony, this is your call." So to hear Tony calling Sting over and over again. I'm not a big WCW guy. I watched WCW back in the day. I always watched it to keep up with what they were doing. I hate watch them, but I have a lot of memories and respect of Tony and the Rhodes and of course Sting, and so that was really cool. A lot of WCW classic. Anybody in their 30s or above, in their 40s and 50s, probably had some interesting feelings about hearing Tony Schiavone calling Sting in AEW. And here comes Kane. He's here. Here comes Kane. It's Pussy Lips McGee. My name is Kane, and I'm donating. I'm sorry I didn't like the ending. I don't mind Kenny going over, but Jesus, that ending was awful. What the heck is Kenny going to do for Impact? AEW has become jobber company. You mean to tell me we're going to see Omega with Rich Swann F off? I don't feel that way about it. I do feel I am a little bit angry because I wish Impact would just die already. I can't stand Impact Wrestling, But
and wrestling doesn't have a good history with invasions.
Yeah, but this, I don't know, Pussy Lips McGee. I got to tell you, I agree with you that it is a little bit eye-rolling. I knew we were going to get the eye-rolling about this tonight, but there's a little part of it to me that's that's exciting. It's weird. And one of the reasons why is because Impact is so dead that I think AEW doesn't mind working with them. And obviously I think that they wanted to see, originally I thought, well, okay, we want Don Callis maybe on commentary. So we'll do something little for you guys. We'll send one of our guys over there. So I'm like, okay, we're going to get Don Callis on commentary potentially in AEW. And then eventually we're going to see like somebody from AEW is going to go over there just to, give back. That's the scratch my back
but
thing.
I thought the plan, they wanted to have a working relationship with them. Tony had said at one time, because that's what they did with NWA in Corgan. So,
yeah,
I mean, that's how they got the NWA women's title defended on AEW. So they want to have a working relationship with as many wrestling companies as possible so they can share the talent around. A lot of people also thought that Moxley was going to drop the belt tonight so we could fight at Wrestle Kingdom and defend the title. He has the U.S. title there, but
no.
Tony said he's not going to Wrestle Kingdom. That's not happening because he would have to quarantine, beforehand and go over. It was just a whole big mess. And not only would it be bad for AEW, but just bad for him as well. So I don't know if they're going to force him to relinquish the title and vacate it or what, but
they're still really on some bad terms with New Japan too. I don't.
Oh yeah, the New Japan stuff is, I don't know, not dire straits, but it's not where they want it to be.
Yeah, it's not looking good.
And I get what they were trying to execute. Like part of there was elements that I liked, like Kenny walking after he has the title, Don's rushing him out. We already saw Kenny rush to his car, before when he beat who was it? The last time when he did the heel turn, essentially, and he left the Bucks, and he ran all the way to the back, and it was like, all right, he gets in the car and takes off. We've done this already with Kenny not that long ago, so it's something we've already seen. The only element of it that I really did like was all of the wrestlers and staff, referees being in the back and yelling at him, being like, you suck. How could you do this to us? How could you do this to our company? You're a cheater. Everybody was yelling something different at him. So it made him the ultimate heel. I did like that aspect of it with everyone coming together to bitch Kenny out. That worked. But him rushing to the car and taking off and the way they sold it. What do you mean Tuesday? Impact, we're on Wednesday. It just felt very corny the way they threw that out. But
I'll tell you, I had a different take on that. I thought the people pointing at him was corny. I thought Tony Khan. I did. So I missed Tony Khan. Did Tony Khan look actually angry, or did he look goofy? Like he
looked pissed and puzzled the best way Tony could, but
because
he was trying to play it off.
Did he look better than when he was mad at the tag team situation?
No,
the Young Bucks.
Not really, but
remember the Young Bucks? He was like.
Yeah, where he kind of just looked blank-faced.
Yeah, it didn't look good. Yeah, so it didn't look... All right, well, that's too bad, because it sounded good. The commentary put it over really well. But the people in the back pointing at them I thought was goofy. But I actually liked the Don Callis thing, because when they were getting in the car, and he goes, you're going to find out why he's here next week on Tuesday. And I went... I was like, oh, man, Callis just fucked up the day. And then I'm like, then what's his face? Marvez had to re-ask him and say, well, you mean Wednesday or whatever? And I thought Don Callis was going to be like, yeah, Wednesday, whatever day it is, you idiot, we're the champion. I thought he was going to say something like that because I thought he messed up. So then when he asked him again, and then instead of saying that, he goes, yeah, Tuesday at Impact Wrestling. And I was just like, what?
Yeah, because they even said on Access TV. See, I was expecting that once he said Tuesday. I would have rather him just said, it was the way that Marvez said, oh, what do you mean you messed up? Like, it just felt corny to me. That's my own personal take. But
I didn't catch it, so it worked for me only because I just wasn't thinking about it. So
one of the things I didn't catch, I was typing notes so I can only hear the commentary when Kenny hit the concrete and they were sending over the doctors and whatnot.
Right.
I was over here typing, so then I looked to the right and I just see people checking on him, and I heard they're like, oh, the way he landed. So I backed it up, but I asked you while I was rewinding, I'm like, was that legitimate? Because I didn't see it yet, or intentional. You said, yeah, that was a planned moment.
The reason why
by the time I backed it up, I saw it and I was like, oh, all right.
The reason why I knew it was planned was because I saw Don Callis get up out of his seat and I was like, oh, this is all a setup.
Yeah, this was a setup, but just hearing it and then seeing him down the concrete, I was like, oh, no, hopefully they're not going for the injury angle. Mm-hmm. And that's how they get another match out of this, where they say, Kenny was hurt, so they stopped the match, but he didn't lose. And thankfully, they didn't go that route. Yeah, it was just to set up Callis bringing the microphone to Kenny and setting up the screw job of the century, as they're going to call it.
I do see some people saying Marvez is corny. I agree. I think Marvez is just horrible.
He was really, really. That's what it was. I don't think it was the way Callis said it, but Marvez being like, "What do you mean Tuesday?" Like, it just felt stupid.
Yeah, imagine.
Obviously, he's talking about his show, dumbass.
Can you imagine Mean Gene? Like, just imagine Mean Gene coming back there and being like, now Kenny and Don, how in the world can you guys be happy with what just took place out there? We're gonna tell everybody next Tuesday why, whatever the hell. Next Tuesday, it's Dynamite's on Wednesday. I don't know if Dynamite's on Wednesday, Don. That type of thing. And it would have been better, but Marvez was like, "But Dynamite's on Tuesday." Like, he just sounds so cartoony. But I still like Marvez, man. I like him in the interview or backstage interviewer a little bit. But again, was also corny with the Young Bucks. Like, he sort of telegraphs things. I don't know, man. I'm always going to complain about the backstage announcers and the commentary because I just don't think any of that is quite up to par. I don't think any of it is. I don't think the pretty girl in the back going, "Tell us, Kenny." I never like any of that. I think Marvez is, a little wishy-washy, although I think he's great for the company in the backstage. I think Marvez should work at AEW. I just don't think he should be doing all the backstage interviews. I think they should have somebody else. Like, now what you guys just tell me what the hell just happened out there? What the hell? How can you be happy with this outcome? And blah, blah, we'll tell you next Tuesday. Next Tuesday, Don, the Dynamite's on Wednesday. You don't even know when Dynamite is. Oh, it's Impact Wrestling. But Marvez is so like that it's like sort of telegraphed in a weird way. Anyway, this is such a nitpick, but it's something that I think about.
It is a nitpick, but it's important to the overall conclusion because it's how Kenny looks less like a star, I think. If Kenny just beat Moxley there, my God, Moxley was what, 20-0 at this point? I know he was undefeated for the past however long. He had this big streak going, and he's got the title, and that immediately they could have had Kenny maybe even attack him after winning the belt to make him more of a heel. And Don Callis comes in, looks like he's going to shake Moxley's hand, and he's a distraction while Kenny, beats him with the microphone, something like that. I would have rather have seen Kenny win clean here. I know it's still a continuation. They can get to it later, but I think that would have been a much bigger payoff for Kenny Omega.
Right.
I know they want to protect Moxley, but with the story they've pushed Kenny with him, I wasn't trying before. I wasn't a single star that I wanted to be. Then I'm not a tag team wrestler. I did what I had to, but now I'm here for me. And with him saying he's the best in the world and this is what he's going to do, with him doing this, I think it would have been huge. Because does anybody have Access TV? I certainly don't have a subscription to it. I don't think anybody in the chat did when I asked. So
all I know is that this was a great show tonight.
It was a very good show. I'm so worried about the future. I want to reserve as much judgment as possible, but I hope this goes well for both sides. I'm just very weary about Impact getting involved.
I'm not worried about it. I think it's because I don't know, man. I thought this was kind of fun and exciting in a way, so I don't mind this. I want to see what happens next. Like, I have a very oh my God, what the hell is going to happen? Listen, I understand Impact sucks. They're a dead. I mean, not really though. They've had good wrestling actually, but I understand Impact is kind of dead. We're sick of it. Oh my God, they're still in business. I get it, but I just think I think it's fun and I think it's exciting, and I didn't see this coming the way they did it, and so I appreciate that. So tonight was really, didn't see the Sting thing coming, didn't see the Don Callis interfering sort of, he didn't even interfere. It was just sort of like a heel turn.
And people got to stop thinking Undertaker's going to AEW not going to happen and they would have a shit match anyways, both too old.
And people got to stop thinking Undertaker is going to AEW. Yeah, I don't know why people are saying that. He's got a 15-year contract
15 years
with WWE.
He's got that. Yeah, and he's not going anywhere.
Yeah, he's got a 15-year contract. He's not leaving WWE. He's gonna go to Comic-Cons and all these things, and WWE will get 60% of it. And
it is amusing in a way to think, though. Undertaker retires in the same week span that Sting debuts.
Yeah, that's a little bizarre.
Is Kane and I'm donating.
Here comes the Pearl River Plunge. Ahmed Johnson's thong.
That main event could have been amazing if the commentary wasn't god-awful.
Yeah.
They need a whole new commentary team with more excitement.
I agree. Ahmed Johnson's thong. I really wish that I was doing commentary in AEW. Can everybody just log on to Twitter right now and tell Tony Khan to get me over there? I want to be in AEW. Let's go. This was the commentary's got to get better. It's got to get fire. Like, this is AEW tonight. Here's what's happening. Like, it's not quite there. It's a ping pong, like, between the announcers of good, bad, weird, doesn't work, does work. It's all over the place. Yeah. Very strange.
Glad WCW 1996 is slowly coming back.
You're welcome.
Jericho, Sting, Shavin, Anderson, Malenko. Let's bring in Glacier next.
That's true. All we need is Goldberg to show up and kick everybody's ass. Easy E, thank you for the 316. That's a great point. It is really looking like WCW. But, you know, these guys are all been friends for years and families for years. You can see why they would want to, you know, piggyback on each other and with each other. And here comes Gritty again.
Gritty again.
Well, I said Pittsburgh 28-10, I think. It's 19-14. Yikes.
Survive off a motherfucking own feces. In Philly, we're gritty. In Philly, we're gritty. In Soul City, we'll eat our own shitty. In Philly, that's why our mascot looks like a...
I loved that call from Tony when he said it's Sting. That was great. But they were not lying that they said winter is coming. Sting is grey. He became the 51st shade. I don't know what and how to think about this.
Sting needs just for men. No, you know, and I don't mind the white hair, man. He's looking like a White Walker, right? I mean, thanks for the $8. Ocho coming in from Sting needs just for men. I loved it, man. I thought
he's
it was
older.
Good.
I don't have a problem with him having the greatness. I mean, he's not a young, spry. He's a legend for a reason.
Yeah, have the gray hair. I say have the gray hair.
I even got, you know, that wrestling nostalgia goosebump sense. I didn't watch WCW at all. You know, at least you hate watch. I didn't watch them at all. I only watched WWF. I was a loyal soldier to them, loyalty through and through. And it wasn't until the invasion started happening that I went back and was like, all right, let me check all this out. My buddy had a lot of tapes of pay-per-views and stuff.
Wow, you weren't flipping. Wait a minute, you weren't flipping back a little bit on Raw?
No, not at all. I never went back and forth. My buddy used to be all about WCW, and I couldn't stand WCW.
I couldn't stand him either, but I'd still turn him on to be like, what the hell is this?
I never flipped over and watched any of it.
I like Goldberg was kind of cool. Like, and also watched because of Hogan. I'd be like, I
couldn't stand Hogan at that point. But I did like Goldberg. I liked the idea of it. I just always hoped he would come to WWF and be like, I'd like to see him fight Austin at that point. You know, I had no interest in WCW.
Hogan was the only reason I watched WCW originally, because I was just like, I loved Hogan so much in the WWF that I was like, I can't believe Hogan's over. What is this company? I don't get it. You know, I didn't understand.
Yeah, he was one of the bigger turnoffs for me because I was never crazy about Hulkamania. So.
Oh, really? That's weird.
Yeah.
What the fuck? I was like a super dude. I was like I was like marking out over Hogan like at 6, 7, 8, 9, and then he went to WCW.
I liked Hogan, but I was young when that peak was going on for Hulkamania, and my grandmother especially loved the heels, so I was always big into like Roddy Piper and you know, for the younger stuff. And then as I got into it more, you know, it was probably like when I really got big into it again, 95, 96, around there. But
Kawan, thanks for subbing to the channel, man. What's going on? Pour him a beer. Get him a cerveza. Get him a lady. We're talking about AEW. Kenny Omega is the AEW World Champion now. He's taking the belt to Impact Wrestling.
My name is Ryback.
Oh, shit.
Ryback. Give me some more money. My name's Ryback.
Give me some money. I'll go to AEW now.
Money. My name is fucking Ryback. Give me some more money. Money is my crack. My name's Ryback.
Feed me more.
Ryback.
Outside of Edge's return, Sting debuting in AEW made me feel real emotion. It's sad that Matt Hardy never got this reception when he showed up. I was thinking of an 8, but the fact Impact had to be referenced drops it to a 7.5 because it was just dumb.
I mean, I knew some people were going to feel that way, and I don't blame you, because I kind of think it's dumb in a way too. Like, I kind of laughed and went, what? Like when Don Callis said, we'll tell you on Impact. I went, oh my God. But like, that was a big moment to promote something right there, and they promoted a tiny dying company. Soundwave92, thank you for the $40, man. $40.
I know Soundwave always a
Buenas
badass. Constant supporting the show. And one of the things that they did with the Sting debut is it was in the middle of the show. It wasn't at the main event. So it was like this sudden out of nowhere, here you go. You know, it was an awesome surprise. It really was. And like I said, the production part of it, I had that whole, you know, nostalgia goosebump feeling going on. I was like, wow, this is great. This is incredible. And just because I didn't watch WCW live when it happened, I did go back, like I said, years later. And then when the network came out,
you know about everything. Yeah.
I binged everything. And my friends would tell me, but I couldn't stand Hogan at that point, and I was so against it. But seeing, you know, Sting come in tonight,
we get it. You're a fake fan. We get it.
Seeing Sting come in as he did, it was so damn just it was emotional. And I was never like this big Sting guy, but they did it so well that you couldn't help but get wrapped up into it.
Yeah, I mean, this was real, dude. Listen.
Of course, it had to be involved with Cody, but
it makes sense. But
it does make sense. But it was just it's funny to think like, of course, it's Cody's angle, but
they're gonna.
We'll see how it turns out.
Let's real quick. We have more donations coming in. Soundwave, thank you for the $40, man. You really helped out me, so I appreciate that in the show. And everybody who didn't sign up back up on Patreon, please check your Patreon stuff. Here's our $25 and above producers. There's a few more that have to be added to this list, but you know it's just the second of the month, so they're coming. Patreon.com/Joe Cronin Show. All the links are down below. Check it out. Shout out to these $25 producers. Some of these people are in the $50 spots and other spots and whatever else. So what are we going to say we're going to come back. There's more to talk about, but real quick, let's take a second break to say, what do you think the ratings are going to be next week? Because
I'm wondering. This was already very hyped to the moon and back. They did press conferences for this one, just like they did for Full Gear and other pay-per-views. They've had people out doing the media circuit, so I feel like more eyes were already drawn, and they kept promising, you know, big moments, and so I think that is going to help already. The fact of Sting coming on, and they did it at a very. They were smart about the way they debuted Sting. It was a very, like, I don't want to say drawn out in a bad way, but it was a long introduction for him. And that was perfect because that gives enough time for people to tweet Sting's here, for people to get an alert or some type of notification if they're watching NXT, if they're and switch over. So that was a good tactic. The way that, all right, Sting's here, and then he had the strut, and then he's got to walk to the ring and get the baseball bat. Like the way they executed everything, it gave them more than enough time to draw in more viewers. Then they recapped it again when they came back, and hopefully they held on to viewers saying, what's going to happen next? I've got to see this world title match. And if you're not an AEW avid watcher or a regular wrestling fan and you just came back because Sting's there, now they're putting their best foot forward by showing you their world champion against Kenny Omega.
Well, you might
and
also
it was a good match, so for an introduction, that's good.
You might also be an old WWE fan who doesn't even watch, and maybe your first time seeing Dean Ambrose in AEW, and you're like, wow, this is
that
weird.
as well. Absolutely. So there's a lot of variables here that could certainly, I think they're going to hit 920,000.
It's a great prediction. I would have said that this show tonight would do 900,000 by itself, but the fact that Sting is there and everything else, I think you may be right. I think obviously below 800,000 would be a massive disappointment. Below 800,000 would be a massive disappointment. I would guess 850 at least, but because they promoted this so hard, and with the second hour after Sting, you would think that they could do 900K. There's a possibility for this show to do 980 and get really close to 1 million. And
I don't think they'll break 1 million. I wish they would. That would be great for them.
Next week
is the thing, because they said Sting talks, and they also have the Inner Circle, their ultimatum. So are they going to break up or stay together? You have the Young Bucks taking on the Hybrid 2, and if the Hybrid 2 wins, they get a title shot. You also get the Dynamite Diamond match, MJF and Orange Cassidy. So does MJF retain his Dynamite Diamond ring? And then we have Dustin Rhodes taking on 10 from the Dark Order. That feels a bit thrown together, but Abaddon will be in action. And then Lance Archer and the Lucha Bros are taking on Eddie Kingston, the Butcher, and the Blade. We saw Eddie. We didn't see him. We heard him run out to cut a promo as the show was ending.
Yeah.
And Moxley was still in the ring. I think that was supposed to be for Dark, because usually they film the rest of Dark after Dynamite is over. So I think that was going to be for Dark, and he just went out a bit early.
Either way,
because it was weird. The announcers were like, and there's Eddie. Like, it didn't feel right. But
yeah, it was kind of weird, but I got it. It was kind of cool because all this chaos is happening, and on top of that, now Eddie Kingston's coming out to attack you, and
yeah, and he's calling out Lance Archer, like, hell yeah.
And as that's happening, Moxley is staring at the camera like, in like
total disbelief,
bleeding and in shock. It was just chaos, man, and that's the type. That's what works. That type of chaos works. Tune in.
Great. Not seeing Don Callis and Omega get into a car with Marvez fumbling through his lines.
Well, I don't know, man. I like that. I'm telling you, I like that. I was like, what?
Yeah, you were about that, not me. I don't know.
Yeah, because I was like,
sit with me.
I couldn't believe that they said Impact Wrestling. I just couldn't believe it. I mean, because I was like, what the fuck? Are you really doing this? Like, what the fuck? I mean, whatever reason, I couldn't believe it. Whether it's a bad reason or a good reason, I was like, I'm gonna watch that. You know what I mean? Like, which is, I mean, I hate Impact. I hate those people. So it's like, we get, you watch Impact Tuesday, then AEW Wednesday. I mean, I guess.
Yeah, and Lance Archer is fully face. I know Carlton asked that in the chat. After they went and had, they have ambitions for him to be a face, which is odd the way he's been booked. I don't know if Jake will still be in his corner with him being a face. We'll see, because we haven't seen, anything with that so far, but it's a surprise, and it works for me. I think they can do something with him as a face better than him as a heel right now. Jake was the good heel, not Lance, so you didn't always really believe Lance in the sense of like what he was saying. I think as a face, he might be good in that big monster role, kind of like what they wanted to do with Braun, except they failed miserably.
Yeah, I just think he actually, the best he ever got me was the other night when he ran out there
for the save. Yeah,
when he cross-bodied somebody over the top rope and he came out. That was actually kind of cool. Like, that was his best moment ever. He always looks like an idiot, but not then. So
that was good. If you want, we'll start right at the beginning of the show. I know we have a few more donations coming through as well, but this Dynamite Diamond Battle Royal, I enjoyed. I enjoyed it better than the one we had previously. There was a lot of little stories here with Hangman Page trying to, I don't want to say coexist, but with the Dark Order kind of like sweetening the deal and really trying to get him to join. They're grooming him, for lack of better terms.
Pat Patterson, rest in peace, Pat Patterson. They did mention it on the show tonight.
They did indeed. They paid their respects to Pat. So it's funny how, grooming, hey, but we'll go ahead and we see, Spears and Sky continue their feud with the loaded gloves. Spears takes out Scorpio Sky in the match. There's also a bit between, Sydal and them. So that's kind of cool to see where we're going there with Spears and Sydal. So I'm curious what they're going to do there. There was just a lot of little things, nothing massive, but all these little stories that made the match much more enjoyable. And when this match is said and done, like when WWE throws these matches together, you'll have spots in it, but it doesn't mean anything. At least with this, there's stories going on. So now next week or the week after, we can have matches take place because this match happened. This leads, it's a cause and effect. This actually leads to the creation of more stories, more matches, more feuds. That's what I'm happy with. As where WWE has a battle royal just for battle royal's sake.
Yeah, like always stupid.
Most times they crown somebody a champion or they go ahead and, you have a number one contender or even King of the Ring. Baron Corbin, was the first one in a while that they really did anything with, and it was just the namesake. So I like what they did with Hangman Page getting knocked out of the ring and Dark Order catches him. They're cheering when he's making big attacks. And then, unfortunately, you see Hangman get eliminated by a really heel Matt Hardy. And this was a way for Matt Hardy to get a ton of heat. How? Everybody likes the Dark Order now as far as like the BTE crowd. And we've seen Matt be more of a dick, really, on the behind the scenes things. But now we're finally really getting to see that heel character from him. So again, something else important happened in this match that sets up a future story. So we're going to probably see Hangman go against, Matt. Hangman's really loved by the fans. Him not being eliminated, everybody's cheering. He gets the huge, lariat there. And then, Matt dumps him out. And it's like, the crowd is booing Matt. That's great. That's a great way to get heat on Matt by saving a crowd favorite. So the things they did in that way just really worked well.
Gorilla makes a great point because I think Miro looked a lot better tonight. That was good.
Yeah, that was my next point.
But I'm
absolutely
glad.
Gorilla Strong's right.
But I'm also glad he didn't win. that would have made me upset because I don't believe it.
Because he's not at a place or a state with the fans' mind anyways that he should be winning these type of things. We've seen nothing from him that really shows his dominance. Oh, he applied his, accolade game over finisher a few times, but he never looked overly beast-like or strong. Tonight, he looked like a man possessed. He was ripping people apart, tossing everybody around the ring. He gets eliminated and then goes on a rampage till he has to be taken out. Like, that was great. That was, he breaks free of everybody and it just, they made him look like a monster. That's what needs to be done. And that was a short span too. Everything was like 15, 20 seconds, but they gave a bit of character to just about everybody in the match. Even Kip Sabian had a few little moments. Joey Janela, we haven't seen in a while, I feel like, on actually Dynamite. It was good to see him again. Jungle Boy was, one of the close to the final, 3 or 4. And getting him down to the end there, that was kind of interesting. It was just a good way to have the Inner Circle continue to fight too, by Sammy getting eliminated by MJF and Wardlow. Really, it was Wardlow. He claims it was an accident, but they kind of go back and forth. And I'm sorry, it wasn't supposed to happen. You hear MJF feigning to Sammy, but really, he's going to dump him out intentionally. And then they start celebrating as they've got everybody out. It's just Wardlow and MJF. And then Orange Cassidy's still in the match. He wasn't eliminated. So they go out to get him, and Orange Cassidy gets his comeback with his, Superman punches, and he takes out Wardlow, and now we've got our match next week for the ring. Very well done. Hell of a fight, and I'm looking forward to the match. Great start to this show.
Yeah, we've got some things to look forward to again, too. So not only all these things in chaos that's happening tonight, but all of those
chaos,
things
storytelling.
They all carry over.
Everybody looked good.
These all are going to carry over to next week. So,
and forward, and it was short too. The match was like 13 minutes long. Usually, these battle royals tend to linger on. I think that's part of the problem too. They don't have to continue them and make the overstay its welcome. It was long enough to give everybody a short spot, and because of that, everyone had to. No, I think that's part of the problem too with battle royals. You usually get people hanging onto the turnbuckles, and this one's sleeping, and this one, we didn't get that because it was a shorter time span. It was a very fast pace, and that made for a much more fluid and enjoyable show.
One of the best,
at least for the beginning.
One of the best exchanges was I thought was Jungle Boy and what's his name? Guevara, Sammy Guevara and Jungle Boy. That exchange in the corner, they had this really big back and forth. They were playing gymnastics on the side of the ring, and it was actually
they were
cool.
They were all acrobatics there. Yeah, they were going nuts, and they both end up on the top turnbuckle, and that's when MJF shoved them both to the floor, and he was like, "Oh, I was only trying to take out Jungle Boy, not." But yeah. Awesome spot too. So.
Moss Blaze is saying they're recording for next week right now. So the next week's show isn't going to be live. Is that what he's saying?
Yeah, I had heard they're going to tape a few of the shows coming up, but I wasn't sure which ones because of the holiday break and things like that. So that might be what they're doing right now, and that's why Eddie came right out to start. Because next week you've got Eddie. He said, "I want to face Lance Archer right now." So they probably were taping Dynamite, like I said, because next week we got the 6-man tag of Lance Archer and the Lucha Bros versus Eddie, Butcher, and Blade. So that's probably what they were going right into.
Wow.
If that's the case, it really is they're taping a second show now, then that makes sense why Eddie came right out in all the chaos.
Would you like to see the Sting merchandise?
I know, already they released stuff.
They had this planned for a while. Good call. Let me get rid of the ad that was playing over it, but there we go. We got a Sting t-shirt. The Sting t-shirt is kind of like a gaming logo or a football logo or something like that. It actually looks a lot like the logos that Fiverr people offer you. Hey, make your cartoon Twitch channel icon logo for your stream. That's what the Sting logos remind me of. But yeah, look at that. Sting merch already. You guys want to get your Sting merch? Go ahead. Look at that. Let's take a closer look at it.
I like what Bernard said. When they said winter was coming, his eyes rolled. He thought Glacier was coming out.
Yeah. On Twitter, yeah, that was funny.
Yeah, that cracked me up. But
I mean, he might have come out.
Yeah.
That's all they were missing was one more surprise. We got a surprise from Gatekeeper Drew, who just re-upped with his free Amazon Prime. You guys can do that with yours, too. That's 27 months for Gatekeeper Drew. 27 straight months from my buddy Drew. You guys can do it too if you have Amazon Prime. It's free to go to my Twitch channel and hit the subscribe button. I'll get the alert, and I'll get $3 a month, and you just have to re-up it every month, and it costs you nothing. Don't waste it. You have $3 you can give away for free to me every month if you have Amazon Prime. Go do it. Just do it.
Roman Reigns, you're my man.
Cheers to Pat Patterson.
I wanna see you naked and give me that Superman punch in my rectum. Give me that Superman punch in my rectum. I don't care if your whole fist goes up my asshole. Roman Reigns, Roman Reigns.
Well, I died today. Sorry that I didn't get to leave with a goodbye. I'm going to miss touching little boys' peepees and also forcing them to suck my cock to get a contract.
Oh my God.
Also that Rio de Janeiro rumor. Yes, not true, I was given the IC. Fuck you.
Oh, God. Well, Pat Patterson, rest in peace, sir, and rest in peace to the Ring Boys. Pat Patterson, appreciate the donation of $14. Impact. Give it a hell yeah! Oh, shit.
Impact Wrestling website is down. Coincidence, boys, or no? Wish Mox was still champ. Not a fan of them working with such a shit company, but if it means they are bought out and no more, I'm all for it.
They probably crashed the website going to it since they had no servers on it. Fade to black, thank you. But you know what they do have is Twitter, and Impact Wrestling tweeted out Tuesdays are the new Wednesdays. Don Callis tweeted out AEW screwed AEW. And that's a tweet that everybody's...
Oh! You cunt! Frog off!
Whoa.
After Thunder Rosa is finished with Britt Baker, she's going to need a dentist. But next Friday, Thunder Rosa wrestles Baby D in her retirement match at Mission Pro Wrestling. Run it back, streaming live on Title Match Network.
Whoa, Ryan Romano, thank you for the $20, man. If you guys use coupon code Cronin, you can get title match with a deal. So that's going on Title Match Wrestling. Thunder Rosa versus Baby D, a retirement match. I definitely recommend stopping by that and checking it out then. Over on Title Match Wrestling, man. Go check it out. Ryan Romano, thanks for the heads up. Thunder Rosa will be great.
Yeah, especially retirement match. I always want to check that out.
And you can use my code Cronin. So there you go. AEW screwed AEW. Hear all about it Tuesday on Impact on Access TV. Thanks for the invite, Tony Khan.
Don also said that AEW screwed AEW. Hear all about it Tuesday on Impact. That's funny.
Are you ready for this? Are you ready for this?
When the world ends, only roaches and Impact Wrestling will survive.
Oh, man, Louis Money, thank you for the $11.50. They just can't kill
Impact Wrestling.
They can't do it, man. They can't do it. Thank you, brother. Yeah,
They're made out of a bomb shelter. That's it.
These sons of bitches just won't go away, man. We were saying this in 2008, in 2010. We were definitely saying it in 2012, 2015, 2017, and here we are. It's 2020, and they're part of a major storyline.
Oh, a little bit of the bubbly.
That's it.
Unbelievable.
Want some bubbly? Look at this stuff.
Oh, a little bit of the bubbly.
That's it.
You was a good show. It was good to see Sting back on TNT. Kind of remind me of WCW.
Yeah, it has that vibe a little bit. Has the vibe of that, but it also has the new vibe of AEW, but it's also got the vibes of, WWE at times. Even the main event match was like, somebody said, oh, don't make it a death match, but it really wasn't. It was a WWE Attitude Era main event type of thing.
Yeah.
So, it was nice, man. It was
I get what they were saying, but it wasn't
Right.
a death match. But no, I get what they were going
Here we
for.
go. I'm about to get it, man. Here we go. About to get it, man. Here we go. Here we go. Here we go. Oh no.
oh no.
Schiavone saying Sting on commentary number 2020, anything goes.
Did he say that? Dewan Joseph, thank you. Oh, saying Sting on commentary. I get it. I thought you were saying he's going to be
Sting on commentary. I had to read it.
I was like, what? He's going to be on commentary? I get what you're saying. Dewan, thank you, man. Yeah, it was crazy. Tony did a great job. It did have that nostalgia vibe to it. Not a big WCW guy, but I remember, it's definitely got a big vibe to it. I thought that was cool. We got away with I think 3 or 4 shits tonight. I thought they could only do 2, but they got away with 3. Our bullshit and shit. So I'm counting the swears because I am the FCC, of course.
Super chat. Super chat.
Eddie Kingston at the end. Lol 7.
I thought it was funny.
5/10.
Man of 1,005
holds.
Thank you for the 7.5 out of 10 for AEW tonight. It was chaotic feeling with Eddie coming out at the very end. I like that.
I still think it was a botch.
It might have been, but
Omega and the Good Brothers.
yeah, it actually worked for some reason. Daniel's son, thank you for the $1.99. And also, yeah, maybe the Good Brothers will show up. Yeah, he's in there in an Impact.
Yeah, because they're over there.
Daniel, thank you for also becoming a patron, man. Going up to the, I think, $10 VIP tier. Thank you.
How long till we get all the Bullet Club rumors?
Yeah, here we go. Please, that's another thing that needs to die. Or come back to, like, prominence in a real way. But, I think that still exists in a small way in New Japan still, but it's really nothing. It's almost,
nothing like what it was, obviously.
Yeah, it's like when Wolfpack took over on WCW and the NWO was kind of dead, and kind of when DX was only like Road Dogg, Billy Gunn, and like X-Pac and maybe somebody else, and Tori Wilson and Kane.
A little bit of the bubbly.
That's it.
Want some bubbly? Look at this stuff. Oh,
with the Run DMC theme
a little
song.
bit of the bubbly.
Well, that had more legitimacy now.
Tony called me this week. I will be arriving soon.
Oh,
and
shit.
Bringing Miss Elizabeth Ghost with me. Long live WCW.
Miss Elizabeth, I'm gonna bring her ghost to AEW, yeah.
I can't even do the impressions. That's all hurts my throat. I can feel it right in the throat. Impressions ruin my voice box this week, everybody. Does anybody know a vocal doctor? Please hit me up, joecronenshow@yahoo.com. I have no health insurance. Lex Luger, thanks for the $3, man. Appreciate it, brother. Thank you, sir. We're going to run through a couple more of these.
Yeah.
So many.
Party.
Win-win for both AU and Impact. Impact got its own channel. It will not die. More eyes on both products.
Yeah.
I mean, like you said, you can catch him on Twitch, but I was just curious who actually had access to Access TV.
Almost nobody. I mean...
it seems like a very small amount. I used to watch concert stuff on them years ago, and that was like 10 years ago, but I don't have them now.
Altuan McGarvin, thank you for the donation. Sorry, I said Altoon or something at the beginning of that. McGarvin, thank you, bro.
I know it'll definitely get eyes on Impact just because people want to see Kenny Omega there and hear the explanation. So obviously it's a win-win for them, But is it going to be more of a win for Impact? We'll see.
I think this is more of a win for AEW. I think Impact's so far gone that I don't think that they're going to get much help out of this.
They've had a bit of a resurgence, recently by getting some people to, re-sign and things like that.
Not going to hurt
building
anybody.
their roster.
Yeah,
it certainly won't hurt them, but
it's not going to hurt anybody. Yeah, so
this could be a shot in the arm they need to head back, but I don't know. You've seen them crash and burn so many times. It feels like it's just part of their plan.
Thanks, Renato, for subbing, man. What's up, Renato? Dark Shadow. What up, Dark Shadow? And Renato, thanks for subbing to the channel, guys.
Hate to label them as destined for failure, but it just seems that way with TNA, Impact, however you want to label it.
Well, they keep getting these little bursts, man. So they'll probably get 30,000 new eyes on the product, or people that will start watching a little bit more, maybe 30,000 people, 10,000 people. And AEW will get...
Here we go. I'm about to get it, man. Here we go. About to get it,
a nice storyline.
Here we go.
Yeah.
What a nice show tonight, though, man. So fun.
Was it the Good Brothers who attacked Mox 2 weeks ago?
Good point. Could have been. Josh Howe. What's up, Josh Howe? Thanks
well,
for the
now
$5.
they're going to, was it Callis that attacked him with a weapon, or was it somebody from Impact? And that's how we get a match with, Moxley and somebody from Impact, a Sami Callihan per se, somebody like that, I'm saying.
Yeah,
that could be cool. Oh,
So,
I had so-and-so come and attack you because I needed Kenny Omega to be the champion. So, and now we get a venge match between those two.
Can you imagine Sami Callihan versus Moxley? Assuming Moxley isn't going away because Renee Young's pregnant and COVID. Andre Oh,
there's been no word about him leaving. I mean, it could happen.
A little bit of the bubbly.
That's it.
Want some bubbly? Look at this stuff. Oh, a little bit of the bubbly.
That's it.
To hell with Sting's debut, he stole my gimmick. Winter still is coming. WCW Glacier.
Slappy Fez.
What up, Slappy Fez? Well, listen, maybe we can get WCW Glacier to interfere. He can show up wearing all the getup and the outfit, looking crazy, and crash the party. Maybe Slappy Fez. That could be something that happens. You never know. A lot of Glacier jokes tonight. Who cares about Glacier? Sting showed up. Rundle92. Rundle92, thank you for using your Amazon Prime and subbing to me for the first time. I do broadcast on Twitch, though, too, so you'll see me probably playing some Diablo and stuff and PUBG and all the other things. So look for those as well. Thank you, man, for using your Twitch Prime. It's free. I mean, it can cost you, too, but it can also be free if you have Amazon Prime. But if you paid for it, then thank you even more. $3.99 or so. Dixie Carter ruined TNA. I mean, I don't know. I mean,
Give it a hell yeah!
Shut up, you two idoids. You know nothing. I will slap you. Listen to me tomorrow on Busted Open to know the real facts.
Of course. There's Bully Ray. Thank you, Bully Ray. Appreciate that, brother. We're not going to listen to Shill Talk Radio, okay? We're not going to listen to Shill Talk Agenda Radio because Bully Ray reviews wrestling depending on what job he's looking for that week. So we'll just stick with Joe.
Give me a hell yeah for Joe and Jake, the Wrestling Podcast Tag Team Champions.
Thank you, brother.
Joe, appreciate the lastest 2 Sting posts shown. They're both quick and you don't want to miss it, nor does Cronin DeMarco Nation. Sting is all Botch Club.
Yeah, you got to give it up for Botch Club, man. They're killing it. Go follow
Check them out on TikTok, Wrestle Daily as well on Instagram. It's crazy. Botch Club blowing up big time.
Mm-hmm. Botch Club.
Dunkachino? Don't mind if I do.
What's my name?
Dunkachino.
It's a whole new game.
Dunkachino.
You want creamy goodness? I'm your friend. Say hello to my chocolate blend.
We remember Sting. Just like we remember when the Himmel God was relevant.
Oh!
Jman will get got. You will be found.
Pepperidge Farms with a donation. Wait a minute.
Pepperidge Farm remembers.
I mean, is that a shot at Himmelgod and a shot at Jman?
I guess so.
You kind of hit both people up. That's, wow.
What else we got?
Going after both.
Cookie-making bastards.
A little bit of the bubbly.
That's it.
Want some bubbly? Look at this stuff. Oh, a little bit of the bubbly.
That's it.
Also, my ring name in AU will be Wheels. Play my music, Joe.
Lex Luger. Here comes Wheels. My God, it's
They're going to
Wheels.
put the ramp more at an incline, Joe, so this way no one has to push him. He can just roll down.
Unbelievable. Well, what else? So what else did we miss here that we wanted to really cover from tonight? It was just such a good night.
Yeah, with Chris Jericho taking on SCU's own Frank Kazarian, who still has not gotten that anger management, classes he needs. This match was okay. Jericho looked really blown up a few times, and I know quite a few people mentioned that on Twitter and in the chat.
Yep.
He looked not with it tonight. Like he had a few too many drinks last night and showed up not in shape.
The guy's just drinking too much, alcohol. Love Jericho to death. Nobody else would be able to go on tour like Jericho, do all the stuff. By the way, Fozzy has a new documentary out if you haven't seen it on their YouTube channel or on Jericho's channel. Great documentary about their travel. But Jericho is just nonstop, never sleeps. And, I don't think anybody else could perform like Jericho does, doing all the things he does, drink alcohol the way he does, and then perform in wrestling matches. This guy's quality of life would improve 100 times if he put down the drinks almost fully. Or at least put them down most of the time. He is always drinking.
But now he's got a whole new line of a little bit of the bubbly coming out, so he's going to be promoting that. So there's no way he's stopping drinking now. There was one point where Jericho was put into, I don't want to say it was like the walls of Jericho that they were attempting for, but it was just bad. It was like I don't even want to call it a Boston Crab. I don't want to call it he was just holding his legs, and he couldn't even really keep the hold on Jericho. He lost his legs a few times and then picked them back up. So it didn't look great. The match I wasn't impressed with, but the story was good all around it. Everything that surrounded with MJF, trying to basically tease that he's going to throw in the towel the whole time. And, everybody else arguing that you're not going to let him submit. And that's when Sammy comes out and takes away the towel. And, all the inner circle are just basically falling apart. They've come unglued. They're breaking at the seams. And like I said, just as MJF was teasing throwing in the towel, Sammy prevents it, pulls it away. And that's when, Kazarian tries to roll up Jericho. And then all of a sudden, Jericho gets a Judas effect out of nowhere and gets the 3 count. A little over 10 minutes, this match. And I wish it was a bit shorter. This was not a pretty thing to watch, but I appreciate the story that they told both in the match and on the outside. So
I love that he backed up into the Judas effect, and he really got waffled by it.
He got hit hard with that, it looked.
I also want to plead to the chat. Yo, guys, stick that thumb up my ass and hit the like button. Let's at least get to 300 likes tonight, baby. Let's make that like button climb. It's going to climax. Oh, and I'm going to climax if it gets to 300, J.
Give it a hell yeah! Tony Khan doing more than the government to save people's lives. First the NWA, now Impact. What's next? MLW lol.
Yeah, right. MLW might be in better shape than those two, to be honest.
Yeah, they just had their relaunch, I believe. I saw it in the emails that I get, and they're on their way to trying to make a big comeback. So,
yep, we'll see what they do. Like MLW, we get Ring of Honors back too. We got ROH, MLW, Impact. We got all these little company territories, and AEW is really kind of the big guy in the building now. And they can kind of play around with the kids.
They're the number 2 now.
Yeah, they can play around with the kids.
Some people would argue that that's New Japan, but I think at this point it is AEW.
Yeah, I mean, it is New Japan if you want to count like the companies, I guess, by size. I suppose it goes, as far as the U.S. and the North America goes, it goes WWE, AEW, NXT, and then after that, I guess maybe it would go New Japan, and then after that, I suppose it would go. It's really some toss-up between Ring of Honor and Impact. And
I'd say Ring of Honor first, then Impact.
Maybe Ring of Honor first and then Impact, although I don't know.
Then NWA, then MLW.
I mean, but, Impact gets about 150,000 eyes on it a week. I don't know what the numbers are now for Ring of Honor locally. Like, for instance, they're on Nesson in New England, and they come on at a late time, or at least they used to. So I'm assuming their audience is only about 5,000 to 10,000 people on that channel. I don't know. So
last I heard, I'd have to go back, but they were doing well when they started their own comeback. We're doing the sports-based presentation with everything. So I'll have to look that up for out of nowhere just to see.
I would think that Impact still has the numbers over all the small guys because.
Especially with Twitch, I'm sure.
Because, Twitch, they don't get a lot of views on there. 5,000, 20,000 people watch.
It's still, a program that's available to everybody. So
the point is, though, if they go
with
live,
no cost.
Yeah, and Access TV does. I don't know what the ratings are over there. Somewhere between 30 and 120,000, probably. So if you add those up, 100,000 people watching their product is more than any of those other companies. So, they're still up there. If you're a wrestling company and you can get 200,000 people to watch your show a week. Like, that's a big deal. I'd probably would have put NWA in the category. I forget what NWA was doing. Let's go take a look at NWA because NWA.
Yeah, Thunder was doing well for a while on YouTube, so that's why I said up until. But now with them coming back, we'll see. Yeah. They were doing better than Impact essentially for a while, but.
And so NWA before they had to go away.
That was at least one of the reports we had discussed.
Yeah, they were doing around on video views. They were around 100 to 300,000 views.
Yeah,
most of the episodes. Episode 10 of NWA Power did 260,000 views. Now some of those are repeat viewers and people who click back on the video. So we can estimate that about 100,000 people are watching NWA. So they're competing with Impact's numbers.
I would say it might even be a bit more than that, but
Well, it's not more because they got 260,000 views, and I don't think that
there's 160,000 replays though.
Well, I mean, normally
I would say they're probably close to the 200,000 line.
Normally, if you're looking at a show that's over an hour long, you got to like divide it by 3 almost, because it's like people come back and watch again.
Yeah, people come back and
it's like there's a
do
lot
it all
of,
in one sitting. I get that, but I wouldn't say that's 160,000 viewers worth.
I don't. Yeah, I mean, maybe not, but it's maybe,
either way.
I mean,
It's still
all right.
over
I'll give him 200,000, I guess. But chances are 60% of the people clicked off at some point, or clicked back, or came back later, or whatever.
Yeah, that doesn't mean people watch the entire episode either. So that's true too.
We could argue about that, but it's hard to figure it out really. But I would usually at least argue like let's put it this way. When I do a monetize this, now there's about 300 to 500 people that watch monetize this live now. And, there's probably about 1,000 people that watch it, or less. Not even. Probably less. Probably 600 to 800 people will watch monetize this now. The monetize this usually gets about 3,000 to 5,000 views now. And it's like, well, if it gets 5,000 views, that many people didn't watch it. And it's the same sort of thing when I see other people live. Somebody who puts out a video talking about something, they'll get 200 views. But if they go live for an hour, or 2 hours, or 3 hours, they get 1,200 views. And really, it's people multi-clicking again. And so the percentage comes out to be about like 30%. Or, you know what I mean? So take 30% away. I don't know. Anyway, we're getting in a weird argument.
I have a full breakdown really quick. It should be noted that Impact shows that had to go head-to-head with NXT when WWE did their twice Tuesdays, that hurt Impact. But besides that, they've been pretty much steady from 102 to 151,000 viewers, 39,000 of which make up the 18 to 49 demographic. So at their peak, they're doing 151,000. At their lowest, they were doing 78,000.
Yeah, so, Impact was winning. NWA is flirting with them or beating them. And so it goes... It's really interesting, but Ring of Honor and MLW are definitely below. Ring of Honor and MLW have stepped below NWA and Impact, although there is no NWA now, so they're not even in the equation, but we're talking about it anyway. But
as far as like persons watching 18 to 49, you got 683 on SmackDown side of things compared to 42 on Impact. Like that's their breakdown. So. AEW is pulling in at least 415 compared to their 42. So
yeah, and it's amazing to think AEW is flirting with, 900K almost every week when, they expected to be at 500,000, and I don't know, man, they're doing pretty good. But again, they to cross over into the mainstream, that's still an issue that we're still going to be talking about. This is great that they're garnering more interest from the current wrestling fans. But again, they're going to have to create new wrestling. Give it a hell
yeah! Meanwhile, did someone in Florida buy the WCW logo? And Joe, did you see the Kenneth Copeland video, lol?
I didn't see it. I saw the thing that somebody tried to buy the WCW logo, the old one, or like the newer version of it. I didn't really look into it much, though, but I heard about it, Freddie Mitchell. And the Copeland video, I don't know what that is.
That was hilarious. The preacher, Kenneth Copeland, is just going off on his usual ranting sprees.
On the guitar player?
Yeah, with the guitar player playing metal music over it. It was funny.
Hey, big shout out to Slappy Fez, man.
21 months for Slappy Fez.
Shout out to Jman from KC. He is the king of the wheel. Monetize this is this Friday. And Jman from KC is the king of the wheel. And shout out to Slappy Fez, man. Slappy, thanks for hitting me with that sub, man. That Twitch Prime sub. It's juicy, and it's in my house, baby.
Yeah,
appreciate that.
Yeah, that Copeland guy scares the hell out of me. I don't care for those type of preachers, anyways. But my God, that guy scares me.
That guy is very scary.
He's a walking demon. Also, I don't know if you heard, but Nielsen updated their TV ratings for last Wednesday.
A little bit of the bubbly. That's it.
Can't wait to see that.
Bubbly? Look at this stuff. Oh, a little bit of the bubbly.
We have a presidential recount.
Not really excited about Sting. These old farts aren't going to save wrestling.
Yeah, I don't think they're going to save wrestling either. And I don't know who thinks that. I'm not sure who would think that Jabroni Cunt. Thank you very much,
Jabroni Cunt,
for hitting the $3. But I don't think that they're gonna save wrestling, but it's nice.
Yeah, it works, but it's not the be-all, end-all.
You're right.
$9 for a fuck. Someone donated 9. I'm getting hard. I got 9 inches inside of your wife. $9. I'm shooting my semen to the ceiling. I'm coming and my balls have turned blue. $9. Suck my dick.
From the lows of WWE to AU's nostalgic pops for my childhood, I'll always tune in with some whiskey listening to the boys and group on Corrupted. Stick that thumb up Joe's ass and cheers from the space between.
Thank you very much to the space between. I like that. I like to reach in the space between. Joe's Perennium, thanks for the $9, man. You gotta love the $9 one. That always gets me. Like, I want to come down to the ring like that. Please let me come down to the ring like that. Just
pyro all of it. Get you going.
Give me the pyro, baby. I want some pyro. I want to come down and climb up the ropes like Brock Lesnar and go, ooh, and right as the fireworks go off, just start humping the air and like I'm thrusting. Come on,
Jump
baby.
from the ground to the apron. You got to get all the way up there. It's a big vertical leap.
Right.
Yeah, it turns out that, and people were going to have a field day with this one, but AEW tied NXT. NXT did not win by those few thousand viewers.
Oh, my God.
Nielsen had to update their ratings. Because it was a holiday, it took a few extra days to even get the ratings out, and then when they did, they had to update their numbers. Now, people in the wrestling scene don't usually pay attention to ratings on a regular basis. Nielsen updates their ratings very often. That's not an uncommon practice. But immediately people were like, "Oh, conspiracy!" Like NXT won. No, now it's got to be. But they both ended up having the exact same amount of viewers, 712,000. And yes, NXT didn't do as well in the demo that everyone's, the 18 to 49 demo that everyone seeks after so highly. AEW had 34%, so they did very well, and NXT I believe had 26%. So all in all, at least they got a tie. That's good. Hey, can't argue with that. But
didn't they have?
It was funny.
Didn't they have a close one months ago when they were like within 100 or so or near?
They've
each
tied
other?
once before. They've already had a tie once already. So
that's bizarre.
Meltzer, when he was talking about this, had me laughing because he was like, "It's basically people are going to turn it into some type of Trump conspiracy." This is going to be like people who think Trump won the election.
Yeah, like Jericho would be the one to do it too because he is the Trump supporter and he's also the guy that, he does the demo god thing. He could be the one like, no man, we like, obviously like it was they where they tried to rob it, they tried to cheat, and the real ratings are out now. I'd like to correct this, but you don't want to bring any light to it, you don't want to start talking about NXT's ratings and yours on your show. It's just stupid to do that. So, maybe on Twitter he'll do something like that.
Maybe.
I don't know. I wouldn't really do that if I was them, though. But, they can do whatever, but I don't know.
What's up, Joe and Jake?
What's up?
Is there gonna be any more new Patreon content this week?
Oh, yes, brother.
I want to listen to more shit while I'm at work, and Joe's shows are the most fun to listen to because I also listen to political news stuff, and Joe's shows are the humor escape.
Yes, baby. We'll give you the political stuff with the humor twist, I guess. Thank you, sir. Yeah, me and Jake are going to have something coming out, and I've got something I recorded I haven't posted yet. And then there's going to be a few more things coming, too. Been a crazy week, though. One of the reasons why I didn't record some of the stuff I was going to record was because my voice has been going. My voice is fucked. Something's wrong. And I just didn't want to blow it out before doing the show tonight. Like, after I'm done this, it's going to be hard for me to talk for a little while. I don't know what the hell's going on.
I'm surprised it's still bothering you, but...
Oh, yeah, it's worse.
Yeah, especially after you freaking out on Raw. That didn't help.
That didn't help. Yeah, so
I've can't be blamed for that one either.
I've got to really calm down for like 10 days and not sing, not scream, not yell. It's going to be hard for me.
It's going to be very hard. And with a little
Down there.
bout of irony that maybe you'll appreciate, WWE got an award today for like recognition and COVID awareness for all they did. And come to find out, the same day, Fightful Select reports that a top NXT superstar is also tested positive for COVID-19. So as the day they get an award for their recognition and alertness to it, they're also reporting that, just before NXT Takeover War Games this Sunday, hey, look at that, we've got positive cases. So that's not good for NXT at all.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not gonna. I was listening to a doctor this morning saying like it's ridiculous for anybody under 50 to get it. Like the normal way you should roll out the vaccine is 75 and over get the vaccine, and then younger, then they move down to 65 and over, then they move down to 50 and over, and then it like sort of becomes weirdly optional from 35 to 50. But the doctors were like, why in the world would the kids get it right now, especially in the early stage, when you don't know what it could do to kids, when there's a 99.9.7% chance that the kids will be okay. Why?
They're starting testing, I believe. Moderna or whoever else just said that they're starting testing on children ages 12 to 17.
Oh my God! Don't do it.
So, they have to test it for long-term stuff, because
the
the issue
fuck?
is if the kids get it, you don't know if they get the virus, not the vaccine. I'm saying if they get the virus, you don't know what long-term effects that comes with that they're still picking up on. So,
well, let me know what those numbers are first, and then we'll think about sticking a needle in somebody.
Hey, I'll test it. Sign me up. I'm a guinea pig.
All right, you be the guinea pig.
And so I clarified, that was from WWE's Public Relations. They won the Best COVID-19 Awareness Campaign at this year's Synopsis Media Model D Awards.
What the fuck does that mean?
I have no idea. It's more fluff for them to pat themselves on the back, but it honors the best in online video content and advertising, digital advertising, things like that. And they won for COVID-19 Awareness Campaign. They never even said the word COVID on air, I believe. And they want to talk about a COVID awareness. At least AEW said, hey, COVID exists and we're going to do all we can. WWE just pretended like fans couldn't be in the building anymore.
What the fuck are you? What are they talking about? What the fuck awareness is WWE bringing to COVID?
And then WWE had many
what's
of
the
these
example?
massive outbreaks and issues and not testing. And I mean, what award do they deserve?
What?
And it's not like, it's just because it's WWE. No, the AEW had issues too. They're not innocent in this either. They had a bunch of outbreaks as well. But at least they actually addressed it head on. Vince just tried to pretend like COVID didn't exist for a long time.
we're getting some real stupid territory with that.
It's sick, unintended.
It's some kind of weird promotional thing, publicity thing. That's all that is. But it's very silly to think that they would get an award. You know what I mean? It makes no sense whatsoever.
For people that are just joining, though, Sting did make his AEW debut tonight during, Cody Rhodes and Darby Allin's match. We're about to get there, but we've heard that he signed a multi-year contract. It is confirmed by Tony Khan that Sting is All Elite. So we know it is a fact at this point. It's not speculation. He is signed with the company. Next Wednesday, he'll make his in-ring debut, in the sense that he'll be cutting a promo and explaining why he's joining AEW. So that'll bring in, I'm sure, some big numbers. Next week is the week where I could foresee them going over 1 million. With that heavy push for nostalgia and all those other matches that they're advertising, I think that that's their chance. Because, like I said, a lot of people might have switched over tonight or tuned in because of Sting, but knowing that he's going to be there, they already advertised it before this show was over, so people would know. I have to tune in next week.
I would 100% think that next week's rating will be bigger than this week's rating. So I'm going to guess 900,000, almost even 900,000 this week. And I will guess 1,100,000 next week.
All right, so you're at 901.1. I said 920 originally for this week, and then next week I'll go at 1 million even.
Okay, I like it. So I'm high. Yeah. I'm lower on the AEW night, or I'm lower on this week. You're lower.
20,000 higher.
You're lower next week on the next week's show. I like it. Let's see what happens. Everybody write those numbers down. By the way, speaking of writing numbers down, I tweeted out a little while ago, not that long ago. There's only 30 votes so far. You can still vote now if you'd like to, and obviously we'll talk about it. should Sting wrestle in AEW? I pretty much thought I knew the way this poll would go, and it's going that way. 63% say no. Should Sting wrestle? No. 36% actually want to see it. Interesting.
And I get why. I mean, there is an interest to see him fight again. I'm just so worried after. I really didn't like the Triple H match at Mania.
Mm-hmm.
Not just because I hated that it became NWO versus DX.
Oh,
yeah.
A little bit of the bubbly.
That's
it. That's it. Bubbly? Look at this stuff. Oh, a little bit of the bubbly. That's it.
Joe, other reason to hate Vic Joseph is somehow he is dating the hot blonde NXT backstage interview girl.
Yeah, that's a great point. I think
motherfucker.
I think Vic Joseph in real life is a psycho sick asshole. Okay? That's my opinion. No way somebody that dorky gets a woman like that without being a sick asshole. So I'm assuming that Vic Joseph is a sick asshole. Just saying.
Hey, you might be onto something.
Got to be something.
Nosferatu's got some skeletons in his closet.
Yep, like in the bedroom, he's all like, put your panties on. Put your fucking panties on. Like, and he's crazy, you know. Like he has silk sheets. Like, all the bed has got to be silk sheets.
Waking up demanding to face fuck. Yeah, I know.
I'm telling you. Bastards. Yeah, like Tom Phillips.
Yep.
Remember that? Send me, I'll fuck my face, or whatever he said on the plane to that woman.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, man, we're on to something here.
It's a culture.
Toxicity over there in NXT from Vic Joseph is definitely out of control. Probably learned from Triple H.
Yeah, see? Just one after the other.
Triple H would make Chyna lift the dumbbells, bending over, lifting while he penetrated her. I know about it.
That's how they got their clean and jerk.
Yep. And that time, Triple H stuck a finger in there, and there was he was like, "Whoa, there's some trash in the way." When he put a finger inside Chyna, we know about it.
There's some junk.
We know about it. Okay. And by the way, Triple H's nose is bigger than Johnny Gargano's penis. Anyway, what else do we have tonight?
We have Britt Baker taking on Layla Hirsch. They tried to set this up as well as they could beforehand. They had a vignette that kind of spoke about how she's going to send Hirsch back to Russia. Okay, match. They worked well together. I haven't seen much from Layla, so it was, as good as what I was expecting. I like the attack afterwards, and that they're continuing the story with Britt Baker and Thunder Rosa. That has, the ability to print money written all over it. So I like that they teased the lockjaw here as well.
Yep.
At first she couldn't sink it in, but that ended up being her demise later on. Good back and forth, just a competent, well-wrestled women's match. A nice change of pace for AEW.
Yeah, I really enjoyed that. That was nice. Appreciated it.
And then Cody and Darby taking on Powerhouse Hobbs and Ricky Starks, Team Taz. We didn't really talk much about the match, but the thing was, there wasn't much to talk about this match. It was really just getting to the ending. Darby goes ahead and hits the coffin drop on Starks. He gets the win. And that's when eventually, the heels start beating up the faces. They start to attack Arn Anderson, and he gets beat down for trying to help out. Dustin Rhodes, comes out, and he's trying to help his brother and Darby, but he gets, the better of the two for a minute. But then Brian Cage comes in, and, now it's full on the numbers side of Team Taz. Taz comes over and he's, barking orders, telling who to decimate. And that's when we get the big reveal. And that's when Sting comes out. We see snow coming down and winter is coming. And the screen plays this really cool thematic, snow scenery. Sting walks out as his name is emblazoned on the Titantron. The crowd's going nuts, rightfully so. He takes the bat out, and the heels are already long gone out of the ring. And, he comes down and he stares at everybody in, their eyes. It was a hell of a moment all in all. And Sting got a ton of money just to walk out with a baseball bat. Good for him.
Yep.
Hopefully we get more. Like I said, I don't want to see him wrestle. But maybe if they could do what they did with Undertaker and Cena. Because I know Steven in the chat said it and a few others. They don't want his last match to be the thought of him collapsing with Seth Rollins.
Right.
And I get that. I do get that. Like, selfishly, I don't want to see him wrestle again for my own entertainment. But I would like to have a better go home send off for Sting to retire with.
There's no reason
that
why
match has such a bad
There's no reason
Or
why
over
Sting can't give us 10 minutes in a main event on Dynamite with maybe Cody or somebody like that, and maybe that's his retirement. Maybe he wants.
Yeah, they can do a tag match, or they can do it. I wouldn't want. You think him and Jericho would be good, but I don't think it would be.
Mm-hmm.
Not at least to the level that he would need somebody younger to really not carry the match, but make it believable. Someone to sell for him, and someone that he could beat if he wants to, go out on top.
Right.
Or someone that if he wants to lose, he could put over and build up. So
I really, somebody was mentioning the commentary. We sort of talked about the commentary already tonight. It was very weird. It was one of those nights where it wasn't very good. JR and everybody they all kind of clashed again. They didn't quite work out. But I did like Tony Schiavone calling Sting. That was fun. JR had some good JR moments, but he also had a lot of current JR like fog, and Excalibur just awkwardly chiming in sometimes like he does with them. Just once again, it's a discombobulated announce team. It's three guys who are pretty good announcers. A legendary announcer, JR, the best of all time, actually. Tony Schiavone and JR, the best of all time, but it's just now currently it's not quite syncing up right. So that's a nitpick or a complaint about tonight a little bit. So yeah, overall the commentary not very good, but still better than the WWE commentary. So
yeah, and I know you're in a terrible predicament, even doing picture-in-picture, but I wish they could have changed. Again, we say it all the time. The commercials really killed that main event. Anytime I felt like they really started to, get going, it just kind of.
It also
they had to hold and halt, and
you got to remember too that also the first 18 minutes of the match were designed to be a slow build up,
not a crawl, but in this sense,
they're
build
like,
up.
We're just gonna do some stuff, and then when you hit the key 10-minute mark or 12-minute mark, that's when we're gonna go into everything. And so that's probably why it felt like kind of two different matches. It almost felt like you could have eliminated the first 18 minutes and just had 12 minutes, which you don't want because it's such a big match. You don't want to condense it like that. But it felt like that because it really felt like the first 18 minutes were all just fluff,
Yeah, and then we get to a pivotal moment. We see all of the German suplexes. We got the first one, the second one. Moxley goes for the third, and Omega starts hitting with the elbows. And then all of a sudden, we got that big exploder suplex, and we get the 2 count. And now they're both on their knees punching each other. And like all of a sudden, commercial break. And it's like, damn it. It just... it's unfortunate. I know you got to pay the bills, but I wish there was another feasible alternative. Unfortunately, they have to pay the bills. The one thing again with the ending too, like because one of the benefits and the negatives, takeaways from us doing it live right after is you don't really have a chance to collect your thoughts. So we talk about it on air. That's why my opinion kind of changes as it fluctuates because, you see something, your initial reaction is like, that's great. But then you think about it and it's like, oh, there's a few issues. Some of the things like the more I sit here and reread the chat and I'm like I said, I'm trying to hold back judgment, but the Impact thing is kind of weighing on me here because it just doesn't make Kenny look like a big deal. He needed help to beat Moxley. And then of all places you're going to, like New Japan, if it was New Japan coming over and they like, that's a big deal. So I can understand why, but for him to deflect to Impact of all places, what are you getting out of it? That you're a big fish in a small pond. At least here, you're the big fish in the ocean. You're the shark in the ocean because now you're the champion. You're the king.
I just think they're doing
it. Impact. It just seems.
I just think they're using it to introduce Impact, and this was the way they decided to get Impact involved with this relationship. And maybe it might have been his idea. What he reminds me of, what Kenny Omega reminds me of, is, he doesn't remind me of Kenny Omega that we've known. But what he does kind of remind me of is sort of like the Shawn Michaels Intercontinental Champion, Shawn Michaels. Like from the 1993-4, like he really reminds me of that Shawn Michaels character a bit. Not quite. He's not doing the sexy boy with the, whatever the hell. But you know what I'm saying. He's got this sort of that little bit of an arrogant thing going on. He's not Shawn Michaels, but it's close to. It's a mid. It reminds me of kind of a mid-card heel Shawn Michaels 1993-4. Type of thing, and that's what it reminds me of. Doesn't remind me of Kenny Omega, the big star champion, New Japan, that type of thing, or the cleaner thing, or whatever you want to call it, or the Bullet Club days, or whatever. but it sort of reminds me of that. Which, and I'm saying that because I think it's good. It's just not. You're right. It's not that thing that you expected, but it is a viable story, and it is a thing that's worked before. And he just kind of reminds me of Shawn Michaels when Shawn Michaels was the champion of the mid card.
So, I mean, being told to shut up or not, at least I'll go ahead and say, hey, it just didn't make a lot of sense for Kenny's motivations. Like, what do you get out of this? Oh, Don Callis is your friend? You know, some people pointed out, like Truth Lock said, all right, we know that, but I want to see more of a justification than all friends wrestling yet again. You know, oh, that's my friend, so I'm going to bring him in. We've seen that for the whole first year of AEW. You know, friends have been supported. We get that. All right, if you're a friend of Cody's or the Bucks or Jericho, you know, Luther's still hired. That's my ultimate evidence to my point there.
Yeah. Well, but I think that, you know, Kenny's going to say that, you know, I was with you guys and you got me nowhere. I was dragged down by you. As soon as I brought my friend Don
exactly, he
Callis,
can explain it in a way. I just hope they don't flub it. That's why I said I'll hold off judgment, but it makes me worried.
What's the flub you're worried about with it?
That they get out there and they just drop the ball with this. That it turns out I came here to, you know, be a champion on my own terms. You know, and you're just like, well, why? If they give him some motivation that just is lackluster or doesn't really go with his character.
So let's say he comes out next week and he says, why am I in Impact Wrestling with the AEW title? Why did I do this? And one of his things is all the things that we said, like, okay, Don Callis, you know, he's the guy who always helped me. He was always there for me. You weren't. And I'm the champion of AEW, but I go wherever I want. I'm the champion. I go wherever I want. Is that going to be dropping the ball to you, or are you going to say, like,
no,
well, that makes sense?
I hope it goes a little bit deeper than that, but on a surface level, that'd be okay. I hope they get more out of it, is what I'm saying, than just a simple, oh, hey, we got your eyes on Impact one week. Now, you know, it doesn't go any further. I want this to actually be a story. Make it carry through. You know, if you're going to go with it,
story
go all
with
in.
What's the story going to be, though? Exactly.
That's what I'm waiting to see. I don't know.
That's interesting, I guess. I'm
curious to see where they go with it. That's why I'm not.
I think I'm gonna like it more because I have no expectations. I see this as Kenny's gonna go over there, say some stuff, come back to AEW. Maybe Don Callis will make reoccurring appearances, but I almost wonder if that's about it. I think maybe Moxley will go over there at some point. And that's it. I see Omega going over there once, maybe, and then Moxley going over there maybe once or twice, and Don Callis being a reoccurring thing, and maybe some talent coming over once in a while, and that's it. That's about what I see. I mean, I don't know what else they could.
Maybe my worry is I figured AEW would be more concerned with making their champion look like a true star than trying to put over another company.
Yep.
That's my, severe worry in all of this, that they should be focused. Kenny should have, and it's not armchair booking like, oh, this is how I wanted to see it. I'm not saying it was bad. I'm just saying I'm worried.
So I see it like this. I don't see it as they're putting over Impact as much as I see it as they feel that the idea of working with Impact is an interesting story and generates interesting buzz that will benefit them more because of the story than anything. And that's
hopefully they're right.
What I think. I mean, that's just what I'm thinking. And I say that because it worked on me. Listen, I'm the biggest Impact hater. I can't stand the company. I don't watch it anymore. They were scumbags to me. I shit on them all the time. And when he said next Tuesday, and then I'm thinking, oh, he said the wrong day. What a dummy. And then he goes, well, on Impact Wrestling, and I went, oh, shit. Like, what the hell? I can't help. I'm going to admit to you that I was a mark, and I went, oh, my God, what the hell? But I'm sure a lot of other people that were watching that and said, "Oh my God, you fucking idiots!" Or like, "Are you serious? Like, that's fucking stupid." So
see, I kind of had the mindset since this started with Don Callis has been on TV now. This is the second time since we saw him. I'm like, all right, it seems like in the way he told the story with Kenny, and I didn't think he'd help him interfere in the match, but I thought that they were trying to bolster a working relationship with Impact. So I was already expecting that to happen.
Yeah, you're right. We thought there'd be some crossover going on because Callis was already there.
Yeah, I didn't expect it to be in the main event.
We didn't
no
expect
doubt.
it to be just like Sting. We didn't expect Sting to show up here. We expect him maybe to show up, but not.
Yeah, at pay-per-view, not on the TV.
We didn't see this coming, and we didn't see that coming. And Sandman Sizzle kind of helps make the point that, is anyone going to care if Rich Swann shows up in Dynamite? Well, that's the point. Because
that's the worry.
The point is, no, but see, it's not a worry to me, because here's the thing.
No, that I'm saying.
What people don't understand, I think, some people, I can tell by the chat, some people, not everybody, but a few people, Impact Wrestling is going to benefit by having AEW talent on their show. Who's coming to Impact? They're going to have new eyes.
Yeah.
AEW is going to benefit because of the story. So Impact Wrestling will benefit due to the story, mostly.
Yeah. And I'm hoping that they don't ruin the story. That was my original point.
Right.
I'm hoping they just don't,
But they already benefit tonight. This is already a point. Like, so far, AEW...
Well, tonight's the introduction to the story.
Here's the thing. Don Callis has appeared on AEW, and that was good because Don Callis is a fucking entertaining, great commentator. So I give a point to AEW. You just upped your commentary team.
Yeah.
Number 2, tonight, this interesting story. What the hell's going on? Next week, we got to find out. So now you've got me super interested in what the hell this means. Next week.
Now you're making us tune into Impact.
Yeah. Or no, now you're making me tune into AEW too. Like, and your storyline is working in my head. So
I'm saying to see what happens next, you have to watch Impact. So they're making us they're succeeding in what they want there by making us tune into Impact.
Right. And I guess both of them are really banking on the story, but Impact
gets the viewers. That's what they desperately need. Both companies need more viewership, obviously, but realistically, Impact's hurting. So.
Impact is banking on the star power, and AEW is banking on the story. I think that's how I see it. Cyrus the Virus, he was great back then, and he's always been great. Don Callis has always been phenomenal, has Don Callis, and it's just great to whenever he does something. He's just good on the mic. He was great in the ring. He looked great. He got his little Canadian lapel out there, I think, tonight, which is always a nice thing to see. There better be a hockey season this year or I'll hurt somebody. Jake, what else you got, man? We got to wrap it up, I guess, pretty soon here. But
I was going to say, too, the last time Callis was on, it gives it that big fight feel as well, with him being on commentary. Yeah. So that is a good addition. No doubt about it. No, that's it. That finishes out the card. I'm giving the show an 8, from top to bottom. It was a very fun show and turned out quite well with all the hype behind it. I feel like they delivered.
Yeah, I think they really did. It didn't quite go the way I thought this was going to be, so wrestling heavy. I completely misunderstood tonight's show. I had the idea that they're really going to sell this epic wrestling match with Moxley and Omega's going to win in the end. And I thought maybe there'd be another match that was really good and then some stories that went along that were all right. And this was not at all what I expected.
I literally said it before the show started. I said, I'm expecting Moxley to go on at like 9:20 because Tony said that if they're going to give him an hour, if they need the overrun, they have permission for it.
Wow.
So to me, that really felt like, all right, they're going to have, one of their classic hour-long matches, that's what they're going for. A 60-minute, bell to bell is their goal here. And when he was saying that to me, I was like, oh, it sounds like it's going to be a time limit draw. And that was originally what I thought going into this. Thankfully, that's not what we got. We have a definitive winner, no matter how they got it. At least we did have a title change. And, that's big to have a title change for them on their weekly show. That's going to already generate a ton of buzz. Sting on top of it is another huge get. So, there's a few big wins.
Looking at the Sting poll, it's now at 80 votes. 65% say no, don't wrestle. 35% say yes, wrestle. So it does feel like 1/4 or a little more than that of you want to see Sting, but it looks like about 65% of the audience is saying, nah, I'm all set with seeing Sting wrestle, so interesting. But yeah, man, that's about it tonight. I thought I would give AEW tonight based on there really wasn't a lot of good wrestling matches to me. It was just sort of an all right night of Cruiserweight. The wrestling we saw tonight, I would give a 5 out of 10. But the story we saw tonight, I'd give like an 8.5, 9 out of 10. So overall, I'd have to give this show tonight for its shock factor, I guess. Funny, shock factor's out the window. It really wasn't tonight. It was in.
Yeah, and they were heavily reliant on being shocking. Certainly,
I'd probably give it an 8 out of 10 tonight. It was just really cool night.
You copycat.
Oh yeah, you going 8?
Yeah, that's what I went before, an 8 out of 10.
Oh, you said it before?
Yeah.
Well, then I didn't. Yeah, then I did cop. Then I beat you to it. Then you beat me. You beat me to it.
I beat you to it.
Definitely going an 8. Solid 8.
Yeah, that sounds like a great score, and especially
and if the
with
wrestling
how this
was
night
better,
could have ended up.
Imagine if the wrestling was crazy. Imagine if there was one match that ripped it.
Yeah.
What could have happened? I could have been an 8-5. It could have been a 9.
I was kind of hoping for the Cody match to do that. We never really got there because Starks can work. So, I mean, Cody and Starks, when they had their TV title match, that was great. I really liked that one. I actually rewatched that a week ago. So
right. And listen, thank you guys for the donations tonight, man. A lot of support tonight with those. Thanks to everybody who subscribed tonight. We had a lot of subs tonight. Thank you for that. And we're really pretty excited about what went on tonight. I mean, this is pretty cool.
Yeah, we're going to have a lot of news tomorrow to discuss with this, obviously. I'm sure throughout the day we'll have a ton of news come out about AEW and Sting and, Kenny Omega. Maybe we'll have more details about the relationship with Impact. We're definitely going to be talking NXT tomorrow night out of nowhere as well because we have War Games this Sunday. Woo. That'll be live on pay-per-view. War Games is always fun. Whether you watch NXT or not, you're going to want to watch this. It's always exciting. If you're a wrestling fan, this is one of those shows that you just watch to have fun and watch people beat the hell out of each other. So we'll have predictions tomorrow night for that as well. Plus, tomorrow night's essentially my bachelor party. So, hey, come hang out and wish me luck before I get married Friday.
So you're going to get married Friday?
Friday. License is in.
Damn, I'm going to drive out there and beat you up.
There we go. Get my ass kicked. That's a hell of a wedding present.
That's going to be awesome, man. Congratulations. That's going to be so cool.
Well, thank you again. We're going to have a party tomorrow night for Out of Nowhere.
I can tell you, man.
Out of Nowhere bachelor party.
It means something, man. It really does because, I mean, you guys have been together how long?
15 years.
Yeah, and so like when me and Leah got married, we'd already been together 12 years, and so
yeah,
it's cool. It's like really like it really feels good. Like it's
been
weird.
Engaged for 14, been waiting all this time, and finally with disability changing certain aspects, it doesn't make her responsible financially for my insurance and whole list of stuff. So it's finally
but they
something
do
that
say,
we're able to do. So.
They do say couples that get married, even if they've been together for years, there's now a 40% chance of a divorce.
Yeah. Hey,
40%.
Because you couldn't get divorced before. You just separate now.
No, it's really,
that's why there's a chance of divorce.
No, I mean, it's weird. There's like a 40% higher divorce rate among people who get married.
Works.
Yeah, it's weird. You know what I think it is? I think it's people who like think that saves the marriage. Like, oh my God, she's gonna leave me or we're gonna break up. Like, well, let's get married. So they think that will save it. It's been 10 years they didn't get married. Now they do that to try to save it, and then they end up divorced. I think it's those people that fuck the numbers up.
Yeah, probably. I think that's the case. We've been dying to get married, for this whole time, and it wasn't a possibility.
Let's do it during COVID. 2020. That's
exactly.
Good year
Things
to do
changed, and now we essentially couldn't have a wedding anyways. So hey, let's make it work and turn it into a ceremony. There we go.
I mean, we only got married in front of my mom and her parents and my aunt. So that was it.
That's what we're doing. So
it doesn't matter. There could be nobody there when you're looking at a person you love or whatever. There could be nobody there. I mean, I'm glad some people were there at mine, but I mean, there could be nobody.
Yeah, you want witnesses, but I get your point. That's the original thing. It was just going to be myself, Courtney, Danny, and the Justice of the Peace. So
right.
Thank you, everybody in the chat. You guys have always been so supportive and completely badasses. Thank you.
One good thing about 2020 is that your charity stream raised $3,000 for kids.
Yeah, absolutely.
You want to know how amazing I just want to say, how amazing you guys are in the chat and everybody who watches us for the last however many years is I watched a few different people that I know stream on Twitch for kids and children. I watched their charity streams, and they raised and these are people who are pretty big. Not crazy, but like kind of big. Like people that have a little bit more subs than me, but on Twitch. And they were doing charity streams, and they hit their goals of $200 and $300. And they were just so excited to raise the charity money. And I thought, my God, $200 to $300. And I'm like, Jake, your thing raised almost $3,000.
Yeah, crazy.
Like, that's insane. So when you
still mind blowing. Well, the first one that I ran, we made I think like 700. And since then it's only gone up and up. And
yeah.
Support has been incredible. Everybody's just so supportive. It's beyond any words I can formulate to say thank you, but I do mean it.
It was badass, man. If anybody wants to get in real quick, 339-226-6610. I didn't have the phones open, but if you did want to get in real quick, maybe we'll let somebody get on for a second, like one or two. And then tomorrow night we will take calls on Out of Nowhere. So for everybody that wants to talk about Sting, talk about what it meant, talk about feeling this, talk about whatever, tomorrow night on Out of Nowhere we will get your phone calls heard.
Give it a hell yeah!
But yes.
I know you're talking about me, bro.
Mm-hmm.
Married guy from Connecticut.
I don't know why the animation didn't pop up, but DJM3, thanks for the 316. It's weird that the gift didn't pop up. That was weird.
I know. I thought it was on my end first.
I am getting an alert that I have a big graphics card update. So.
Oh, well, that'll do it too.
DJM3, good to hear from you, DJM3. Thanks for the donation, man. Thank you guys for all the donations today, and thanks for bearing with me for the last couple weeks as my voice is something's wrong with my vocal cords and shit.
Thank you, AEW.
Give me your ratings in the chat, everybody. Hit us with your ratings in the chat. What did you think? And if you really want to get on the air, 339-226-6610. Bring it on. Let us know what you think. And thanks to everybody who signed up on my Twitch. I'm still going to be streaming some Diablo this week and some other things if you're interested in that. Plus Patreon. Shout out to the $25 producers. Luis Antonio Alejandro, Yori ThaDon, Jman from KC, Kevin Murphy, Firebird87, Duane Crenshaw 6535, Joseph Lightsey, Arknolia Strokelbean, My Son Champion, NickY J, The Weed God, Brian Harper, Adtr 210, and Gordon Bombay. Talk to Me Nice, The Bear 1322, Drew Bar 100, JDVenom, Star Scream, and JuneBug, and a few others as well. Unknown caller's on the phone. Hello, unknown caller.
How are you?
Hey, what's going on?
Not much. Just enjoying the night.
Oh yeah,
hey,
baby.
Can you go on the Wire show?
Oh, come on, Dwelsh. Why do you gotta call me, Dwelsh? Come on, Dwelsh. Come on, Dwelsh. Dwelsh, why are you calling me? Come on, Dwelsh. Unknown caller number 2. Let's go to the dickhead line again. Hello. Unknown caller again. Hello.
Take 2 for shit bums.
Going once, going twice, gone. Let's go to the phones one more.
916. How's it going?
916. Third time's the charm. What's up?
How's it going?
What's up, brother?
First of all, Sting in AEW is great for all the young talent that's there because he's got so much knowledge for the business. And, like,
right.
He did give it to everyone that's there that's just wanting help with everything.
That's a great point.
That's one thing.
That's one thing, no doubt.
To all those non-Sting marks that say, oh, he can't wrestle, he's broken. Who cares? His doctor cleared him for contact drills a long time ago.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know what I'm not against him wrestling. I would like to see. I think he should have 1 or 2 matches at some point, maybe. But I think definitely his real role should be that supportive role. That he's there to look over the company and stuff, and he can play that sort of character. He's got a bat, all that stuff that he can do. So yeah, I'm not opposed to him getting in there.
Same
once.
role he pulled in WWE.
Oh, I know
when he
you're
showed up
not.
at
I was
Survivor
speaking to the ones in the
chat
I know. With your poll that were like.
Yeah, no, I get what you're saying.
Crapping on it.
Yeah, other people are really mad about it. Some people. Donnie Murdoch, thanks for the $1, man. Thanks for the call, dude. I didn't mean to hang up on you if you had something else, but I'm moving through calls real quick because people are calling. 201.
That's a good point, though.
Yeah, it was good. Yeah. What up?
What's up, Joe?
What's up, baby?
What's up, Joe? How you doing, man?
I'm doing good, man. I'm looking at Jake right now. He's looking at me. Our eyes are crossing.
Hey, listen, man. What happened tonight is exactly what the fuck we needed, man.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, listen, Joe, I got a long list to say about this thing, man. I don't care what happened tonight. I don't care if it was a screw job. Kenny Omega will always be my favorite wrestler, no doubt. And another thing that I need to say is, why is Vince McMahon not doing this? Because he's got his own head shoved up his own ass. He's a billionaire. WWE is not doing professional wrestling right now. They're not doing what AEW is doing. WWE has went from releasing superstars to the situation with Zelina Vega, all this other shit. Like the Sting thing it really surprised me. But another thing too, I won't be surprised if either Brock Lesnar or Zelina Vega go to AEW. I really don't care. I really want to punch Vince McMahon in the face right now for not listening to us, the fans. I can't. I still can't believe
He's delusional, dude. He almost he's like Biden right now. He doesn't know where he is. Vince is like, he's just in cruise control mode. You know, Vince is in cruise control mode. He goes out there and he does these same things. He's lost it. And you know what?
He knows what the fuck he's doing, man. He knows what he's doing. And by the way,
he knows what he's doing, but he doesn't know what he's doing at the same time. But you're right. He's doing what he wants to do, no doubt.
Yeah, but you know what? I hope that AEW and Impact will just kick ass in the ratings. I hope Vince McMahon. I just want AEW to make Vince McMahon do competition. I want AEW versus WWE. That's what the fuck I want.
Yeah, well,
and I want Vince McMahon in the ring with me, Thomas Fleming from Jersey City, because I'm kicking his ass for not listening to us.
Jersey City.
2020. Yeah, man, Jersey City. What's up, man?
Jersey City boys. Jersey City boys is here.
Dirty Jersey.
I want all the smoke. So Vince McMahon, I'm calling you out. I'm kicking your ass, man. I'm not scared of you.
All right.
Because he don't listen to us. You know what I'm saying?
Well, listen. I hope Stephanie rapes Vince.
What's up?
I hope Stephanie McMahon. I hope Stephanie rapes Vince.
Oh yeah, Stephanie wants me so bad.
No. With
that purple penis.
No, her dad. Yeah, no, she goes after her dad. You know, that's never happened before. That guy couldn't believe it. He's like, "Yeah, I want some of that.
I'll take Stephanie."
Yeah,
that's what he was all about.
Who wouldn't? Stephanie's
that one.
Stephanie's still that teacher, man. That you're like, yeah,
still got it.
Give me
Staying
that.
Sexy.
Anyway, guys, tomorrow night we'll be on Out of Nowhere. We'll take more calls tomorrow night, guys. Tomorrow night, more calls. Hell of a night. Thanks for being here.
News, all of it. It's going to be a ton of fun. Don't miss it.
Don't miss tomorrow. Hit Jake up at Countdown Ended on Twitter. Hit me up at JCS Commentary on Twitter. And go vote on the Twitter poll. And follow me on Instagram. Follow Botch Club on Instagram. The Wrestle Daily Botch Club and Joe Cronin on Instagram. And of course, there's a bunch of new stuff on Botch Club right now. And look at that, they're donating. Right as I actually just plug them on my own, they start donating.
Party.
Have you seen the People's Cross Eye? Just uploaded. Plug it.
Go on your Instagram now, look up Botch Club, and check out the People's Cross Eye. You're gonna fucking die, okay? You're gonna fucking die. And then spam the comments of Joe Cronin Show has a big one. I want to see Joe Cronin has a big hogger below the post by Botch Club. Thanks again for being here, guys. Botch Club on Instagram and TikTok and Wrestle Daily. I'm Joe Cronin, Jake DeMarco. AEW was good tonight. You seem to like it. Become a patron. Sting is in AEW. Become a producer if you can on Patreon, or just become a patron for $1. Let's go. Patreon.com/Joe Cronin Show, where we say the naughty things that YouTube won't let us, and we get really fucked up on Patreon with all of our friends. You guys on Patreon are badass. The shit that went down on Patreon this week made my dick curl into my sphincter. Like in a good way, though. It's like tickled myself. It's weird. All right, I'm out of here. Bye. Digging that throwback Stone Cold Steve Austin wearing a New England Patriots jersey from 1998, WrestleMania 14. Botch Club, you know how to get me hard, huh? Tomorrow night, Out of Nowhere starts a little bit early, guys, so make sure you're on the channel earlier. A little bit early tomorrow. Probably about 10:30.